Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my Louisiana football predictions for the 2021 college football season. Before I continue, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to your channel. Greatly appreciate you do that. We're trying to go to the channels to go ahead and do that. Louisiana last year, and most seasons, they would have probably been number one for the group of 5 teams. Unfortunately, they had a team in their own conference, Coastal Carolina, which we'll do the college football prediction video here next week, and they had Cincinnati in front of them. Louisiana was a very good team last year that kind of flew underneath the radar. A lot of people were saying very good things about Billy Napier. He interviewed for several coaching positions, but he elected to stay at Louisiana over jobs like South Carolina because he has the most experienced team coming back this season, and his team is the favorite to win the Sun Belt. So I think Louisiana's gonna have a pretty good year. Let's talk about it. The over under little typo there should be a dot there instead of a comma, but the over under is at 9.5 wins. So that's according to DraftKings to go ahead. So we'll see what they're at after the video. FBI has them at 7.2 wins and 5.4 losses. That includes the conference championship game. I do think that is a bad I think they're gonna be better than that personally. Um, the headlines I can't get to a New Year's Six Bowl. There's paths to it. Obviously, Cincinnati's the team ahead of them. If Cincinnati makes the playoffs, I think Louisiana has a good shot at getting to a New Year's Six Bowl. If they go undefeated and Cincinnati has one loss, they have a very good shot to get in it as well. So there's some paths there for Louisiana for sure. The best case scenario is 11-1. Excuse me. Um, I do think you lose a game somewhere on the schedule. The schedule's a little bit more tricky than you think. But I do think you lose a game somewhere on the schedule. Worst case scenario is 7-5. Sunbelt's getting better. They got good coaching hires. Like say what you want about him, Butch Jones at Arkansas State. The Sun Belt, especially in the East Division, is going to be really good this year. So the Sun Belt is getting better, and especially with this expanded college football playoff. I don't know if you saw the news. This is a bit irrelevant to Louisiana, but SMU got landed a 5-star commitment that decommitted from Oklahoma. You're gonna start seeing some of these Group of 5 teams land some 4 stars and 5 stars because they know they have a shot to compete in the playoffs. So the Sun Belt is definitely getting better, especially in their location, which is a hotbed for recruitment. The swing game is Appalachian State. You get them off a bye week. I think it's week 6 on a Tuesday night. Man, I wish that game was not a Tuesday night, at least a Thursday or Friday night. But Appalachian State, cross division opponent, and they're in the Sun Belt. I do think that they are probably favorite number 2, number 3 overall in the Sun Belt. That's a game you gotta win if you're Louisiana, if you want to be taken seriously. So let's look at the schedule here. We kick it off with week 1. The big game is gonna be a top 25 game. The game is in Texas. It's against Texas. It's in Austin. You guys are near a 2-touchdown underdog in this game. I think this is gonna be a hell of a ball game either way. At the end, though, I do have Louisiana beating Texas. I just have a gut feeling. I've seen Texas lose games before in week 1 to teams they are supposed to be. My man went Terps, but overall, new coach there, Steve Sarkisian there at Texas. I just think Louisiana overall, as I said, they have the most coming back. It's the most experienced team in the country. I think they're gonna go in there and get the win. I think it's gonna be a tight game either way, but I'm gonna say they go in there and get the win. Every year you're supposed to win a game, you're not supposed to win, and lose a game, you're not supposed to lose. I think this is the game that you're not supposed to win, but you end up winning it. So week 1, against Texas, you guys do get the win there. Next game against Nichols. They used to be called Nichols State, I think, but FCS opponent, you do get the win there. Next game, Ohio. You do get the win there against Ohio. I do think that you are a better team than Ohio. Ohio is one of the better teams in the MAC, but I think you guys do get the win there. I think that game is in uh, Louisiana, so yeah, you guys will get the win. Your next game at Georgia Southern. You open up conference play against Georgia Southern. Um, Georgia, and by the way, that Texas game is on the road for Louisiana. It's in Austin. I don't know why I didn't have it at Texas there. My apologies there. But at Georgia Southern, I think you guys get the win there. Um, they run that triple option. It's kind of tough to if you guys don't have an experienced team or a good defense, you will have trouble defending that. But I think, and Georgia Southern, in my opinion, listen, I don't think any team in the East Division, the Sun Belt's a bad team, but they might be a team that might get left out of a bowl game at 5-7, or maybe even 4-8, just because of how good of a division they play in. But I think you guys go on the road and get a win there. Competitive game, but you get the win. Next game, at South Alabama. They bring in a new coach from Indiana. A lot of people like that hire. I don't know what to think about that hire necessarily, but they're not that good of a team there at South Alabama. I know it's on the road, but you guys will get the win against South Alabama. Should be probably even blowout fashion, honestly. Next game is your swing game against Appalachian State. This game is a Tuesday game, which I do not like at all. I think football should only be played on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and then that Monday night game, I guess. If it was up to me, group of fives will be. I'll only allow group of fives to play on Thursdays and Fridays. I would get rid of the Thursday night football game. Power Fives on Saturdays, along with Group of Fives. Group of Fives can also play on Saturdays. I'm just saying I'll only let Group of Five schedule the Thursday and Friday games, except for Week 1 and then the Friday after Thanksgiving. And then NFL's on Sundays, and then that Monday night game. I guess I'll keep that. I guess even though I'm not completely for it. But anyways, back to the video. Against Appalachian State. I think you guys get the win. It is at home. I think it's a very competitive game, but I think you guys do get the win. Appalachian State, if you would have told me a few years ago that Appalachian State would have been the third best team in the Sun Belt, not because they drifted off a little bit, because the Sun Belt just got that much better, I would have said no way. But that's where they are right now, Appalachian State. You guys will get the win. This is your swing game. You guys, I think, will get the victory against them. So you open up the season 6-0. Your next game is on the road against Arkansas State. I think this is going to be a bit of a tricky game. Bush Jones, I think, will have this team better than what they were last year. And I do like Blake Anderson that he's off at Utah State. But it was time for a coaching change there at Arkansas State. They kind of just plateaued and kind of just fell in their face last year. We'll say COVID is the reason why it fell on his face. But on the road, tricky game. I think this is a tougher game than what it looks on the schedule. I think you guys will get the win though, but it'll be a close game. I think you guys pull out there with a win. Next game, Texas State at home. Win. Texas State's not that good of a team. Um, I mean, I watched them play a few times last year. They played good early in the season. They kind of drifted off though. I think they went 2-10 last year. Um, but I don't think they're that good of a team. I think you guys will get the victory against them. Next game, Georgia State. Georgia State, I like Sean Elliott, the head coach there. Once again, though, same thing with Georgia Southern. They could be a team that's left out 4 or 5 wins in the Sun Belt East because the Sun Belt East is just that good. But I do think Georgia State is I think they're an average team in the Sun Belt, but I think you guys, especially with the game at home, probably beat them by 2 scores. Your next game at Troy. Troy, some people think they're going to bounce back this year. I think they bounce back some this year. Even though if this game's on the road, though, I still think Louisiana's going to go in there and beat them probably by 2 scores. Could maybe get a little bit tight, but I think you guys at least escape out of there with a victory against Troy. Your next game is on the road against Liberty. Liberty, I think, is good, in my opinion, as a top 30 team. Um, they're not in my top 25, but they're right there behind the top 3 teams not in my top 25 are Ole Miss, Utah, and UCF. Liberty is right there, right behind them. I think this has a lot of potential to be a top 25 game this year. A lot of people have Liberty in their top 25. The game is in Lynchburg there at Liberty. I went back and forth with this one. I gave it to Liberty because it's in Liberty. I do think you guys lose a game somewhere, and I think this is the game you lose. Um, it's gonna be a tough game. Game day might be at this game. I mean, as I said, it might be a top 25 game. It might be because game day usually likes doing at least a group of 5 every year. It's gonna be a tough game. It will not surprise me if you go in there and beat them, but I think this is a 50-50 game. I think with it being a Liberty, I think you guys go ahead and take the L there and drop your first game of the year. So 10-0 start, drop the first game to Liberty. Last game is against Louisiana Monroe, your rival. Good news is that they are the worst team in the Sun Belt, and it's not even close. You guys will get the win against them. You'll probably be even below them out, honestly. So you finish the season strong, going 11-1 with that one loss to Liberty. I just think you lose a game somewhere this year. That's basically what it comes down to. Um, so I think 11-1 is the record. Actually, I accidentally put down 12-1. That's kind of funny. A little bit of a typo there, but and I'll say now, I think Louisiana will be favored against whoever comes out of the Sun Belt East, if it's Coastal Carolina or Appalachian State in a rematch. But I think you guys go 11-1. That's a bit of a typo there. 8-0 in the conference, which means you will be representing the Sun Belt West Division. I think Louisiana's a pretty good team. I think they are. I just don't think they're going undefeated personally. So I'll say 11-1, 8-0 in the conference. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. I always like hearing from you all. Thanks for watching the video. Hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to your channel. Greatly appreciate if you do that. This is McD the Beast signing off.